What is going on about Architecture here? Continue with my current flavor of content, which has been talking about Assassin's Creed videos almost nonstop with one break. We'll talk about Siege, but for the most part, my returns to YouTube has been all about Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I want to take a break from talking about Odyssey in general, but to still continue in the flavor that Assassin's Creed has with me because it inspired this video. I want to talk about something that we haven't seen and what I do want to see in gaming, and that's MMOs set in ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Again, this is inspired by me playing Odyssey and enjoying the hell out of that game. I have 80 hours played in Odyssey. I've only completed about 46% of the game. It's main quest, so I've done all this in the game without even completing half the game's main story. But Odyssey is in the background. It's background gameplay, it's inspiration. It's not why we're here with this video. So anyways, what I've noticed is that there's a hole in the current format of MMOs, the current flavor of MMOs. I feel like that comes from the fact that majority of MMOs are set in one time period, and they've always been set in a time period. We don't get anything different when it comes to MMOs, when it comes to changing up, what time periods to take place in. And for the most part, MMOs take place in the medieval times, Arthuric times, Dungeons and Dragons kind of style, knights and wizards and dragons. That's the kind of thing you see in MMOs nonstop over and over again. So we get with even a lot of RPGs. It's always those time periods. We don't see anyone going into ancient Rome and ancient Greece and doing things like that. The majority of MMOs, I feel like, developers are ignoring and missing out on a potentially great game series solely by ignoring ancient Rome and ancient Greece. Those games could be amazing, and they're new. We need new ideas in gaming, and that's what we're lacking. Part of why gaming is still right now because everything is exactly the same. Every MMO is exactly the same. Every free MMO is the same. Every paid MMO, they're all exactly the same. RPGs, action games, they're all getting repetitive and they're all being the same. We need new content. We need new ideas. We need new stories. And you will think there's a lot of ancient Rome, a lot of ancient Greece games out there that are AAA and great. There's not. There's only like three we can even mention and talk about, and that's Odyssey, God of War, and Rise Son of Rome. Those are the only notable games set in those time periods, set in ancient Rome, ancient Greece. And it's crazy that we haven't even gotten ancient Rome, ancient Greece MMO at all. And that's crazy when you think about it, because think about how famous those time periods are. The Spartans, the Zeus and Ares, Poseidon, ancient Greek mythology, ancient Roman mythology, the 300 Spartans and that war against Persia and things like that. We know how famous those things are and how popular they are, but we don't see it in gaming. And again, I mentioned before, there's only three notable games that use that time period: is Odyssey, God of War, and Rise. And when it comes to AAA developers, think to yourself, like, why haven't anyone else cashed in on that opportunity? Why has anybody else cashed in? Is it difficult? Are they afraid that using that time period and having inaccuracies will get people mad? Because when it comes to knights and wizards and dragons, people don't really care about accuracy because it's entirely fiction. Whereas ancient Rome and ancient Greece is set in reality. It's based on real events, even though there is fiction involved when it comes to mythology. We need more, and I'm tired of knights and wizards. Give me Spartans, Pole Marchos, and Athenians and Persian immortals. Everything those time periods have. I don't just want ancient Rome and ancient Greece. I want the ancient Persian military also involved. I want that time. I want those wars. I want the war between the Greeks and Persians. I want that 300 battle 300. I want the Athenians versus Sparta that Assassin's Creed Odyssey follows. That follows the story of Athens versus Sparta. I want that. Let us experience those ancient wars in single player campaign and MMOs. Now this is an opportunity games are lacking. It's an opportunity that we don't have a game. It's an opportunity that should be taken but aren't being taken. If you feel like, well, knights and wizards equal dragons and those fictional beasts, that's why those games are amazing, because they have dragons and all these fictional animals and things. You can get that with ancient Greece and ancient Rome as well. There's hydras, there's gorgons like Medusa, there's chimeras, there's cyclops, centaurs, daemons, eidolons, griffins, harpies, minotaurs. There's things like Scylla. There's so many types of mythical creatures and mythical beasts and legendary creatures, like Scylla and like Chiron, things like that you can have in that game. In these kind of games, you don't have to have it based on just realistic battles of Rome and Greek and Sparta. You can have the fictional things that exist, just like God of War. God of War encompasses a lot of the fiction that's with ancient Greece and ancient Rome. How fun would it be to play an MMO where you can create a character that picks a god to imbue them with power? Like you create a character and you pick Zeus as the person who imbues your power. You pick Ares or Hades or Poseidon or Artemis or Apollo or Hermes, whoever. Pick any of the Roman and Greek gods and they imbue you with power. Again, Odyssey, God of War, Rise are the only notable AAA games that uses this time period and that time setting. And in God of War, you know how that works. You know how that Kratos is going around killing gods of those time periods. So you see those things in that game. In Odyssey, you fight Medusa, you fight Cyclops, you fight Minotaurs, and that's just in Odyssey. So I feel like I'm getting excited about it. That's why my voice sounds the way it sounds. 'Cause I'm actually getting amped up and excited to even think of how those games will play, how those games will work, and it's mind blowing that we have not seen those games as much as we should, as much as we see these knights and wizards kind of games, and the Dungeons and Dragons kind of games, these medieval times, these Arthuric times kind of games. You know, you go play something like Smite where you can play all the pantheons from ancient times. You play the Romans and you play the Greeks, and you're like, why don't we have more games like this where we can play as Zeus and things like that? Why don't we have more games where we can fight Ares? Why don't we have more games like God of War and Rise, Son of Rome and Assassin's Creed Odyssey? We need more of those. And I want to see these games. I know there are others who are like me who want to see these games, who love the idea of seeing those games. And if you're a developer watching this, and do it. What are you afraid of? Why aren't you making these kind of games? Try something new. The gaming industry right now is super stale, especially in RPGs, MMOs. They're all basically exactly the same. If you're playing Skyrim, you're playing Inquisition. If you're playing Elder Scrolls Online, you're playing Terra. You're playing all those games are exactly the same, just minor changes and things like that based on lore changes. The Elder Scrolls is follows its own kind of lore, and Terra has its own kind of lore, but it's all basically exactly the same when it comes to his knights and wizards, and that's it. Knights, wizards, dragons. We don't have ancient Rome. We don't have Spartans. I want to be a fucking Spartan in an RPG. I want to be a Spartan in MMO. I want to play going against Greek, go against the Persian immortals. I want to have the Battle 300. Why isn't there a Battle 300 game? Like, we need to have these kind of things in gaming, and no one's capitalizing on it. And when it comes to AAA development, I know there's like Total War and things like that. Those strategy games on PC and things like that that do these kind of things, but I want a AAA game on console, on PC, like that's RPG and that's MMO that have those kind of that time setting. But with all that said, it's just the video, guys. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoy. Leave any thoughts you have in the comment section below. Hope you all like this video again. I hope you all let me know your thoughts on the idea of ancient Rome and ancient Greece having games and not being as literally rarely used by developers as they are. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoy. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.